Hi, so today's class is going to involve a mat and a ball. It doesn't have to be a Pilates ball, doesn't have to be too soft, although it's going to be comfortable. Feel free to use a foam roll or anything you can place that's kind of rounded or cylinder-like just to open up your mid-back. I will be shouting out alternatives during the workout. And we're going to, because we are going to keep using the ball. You can also use sliders later on or paper plates if you have carpet. All right, so we're going to come onto our backs, placing the ball on your mid back. So just at the very tip of the shoulder blades, bra line area, for those of us who wear a bra. So once you place the ball there, you're going to let your head fall all the way back. And then here, just seeing where the ball feels most comfortable. Okay, so you don't want it too high up where you feel your lower back being pulled too much if you're tighter from your lower back. And you also don't want it too high up where your neck feels weird. It's just playing around with it, maybe rolling up and down. Finding a place where you can find length through the back of the head so your chin is not completely up. You can always feel free to put like a little towel or something to support your head if it feels like too much of a pull. Arms can either reach out into a Y or come into cactus arms. If you're really tight like I am, coming into a Y will be a little bit softer on the chest to start. If you're in your cactus arms, just be cautious of where your shoulder head is. If your shoulder is here and you're trying to open up, that does you no good. So just really thinking about pressing the elbows away from each other to open up the chest rather than getting into that shape. All right, well, anyway, this should feel good, especially if you've been on your computers and texting all day. That you're gonna place your hands behind your head, interlacing your fingertips at the base of the skull. So you really kind of want to find this kind of support, like you're nesting your head, because we will be doing some chest lifts very soon. Okay, and then once your hands are back there, your elbows might lift up again if your shoulders are tight like mine. Your ribs for now can be splayed out, totally fine. And then we're just breathing. So you're exhaling to just fill your ribs from the back to push into the ball. And then inhaling, just finding your ribs moving out to the sides. Exhale, falling into the ball, feeling your ribs pull away from the ceiling, and then inhaling out. So just kind of getting that motion of lateral breathing that we teach in Pilates. If you don't have that down, totally fine, just keep breathing. But really think about pulling the air into your rib cage rather than belly breathing or chest breathing, so that your head doesn't feel like it's bobbing up and down every time you take a breath. So just taking a few more breaths there. Fix my pants. Okay, still making sure the back of the neck is long and the sit bones are relaxed. There's no clenching. On your next exhale, you're going to peel your head and shoulders off of the mat, just coming to where you're gazing over your knees. So I like stopping here just to start, just to check where my chin is. Because if it's pushing too far forward, I'm already putting so much pressure in my neck that I'm not activating my lower abs and my pelvic floor. As soon as I can find my chin retracting back and towards my hands and really lengthen through the back of the neck, you will have to automatically scoop in deeper with those lower abs, right? And then you can pay attention to the sit bones. Are they tucking in towards you, or are they actually lengthening towards your heels to make your abdominals work harder to lift you up higher? In doing so, you should start getting those nice shaky abs that we're looking for. And then maybe using your next exhale to peel up just a little bit higher, so you're still reaching your chest forward. Holding at the very top. Okay, dropping those shoulders, see if you can pulse up just a little bit higher. And then slowly falling all of the way back. Okay, so thinking about all of that next time you peel up. And then opening up the chest as you come down. And then down. Really feel the belly button push back and towards the ball. Lift the chest forward and then fall back. Okay. And you have two. And then one more. Holding at the top, and then giving the tiniest pulses because the rib cage pushes back into that ball, letting the chest reach for those knees. So you have 5, 4, 3, the belly button should not be doming, 2, 1, hold, maybe coming up a little higher. Now reaching the arms forward, coming up a little higher till you're almost off of that ball. Then placing the hands behind the head, trying not to lose any height, that's really tough. And then slowly falling all the way back. Head relaxes. You can move your back side to side. If you're starting to get any lower back pain at this point, feel free to get rid of the ball, ditch it, disinflate it just a little bit. Just come onto your back, totally fine. It's whatever feels best for your body here. On your next exhale, you're gonna go ahead and peel back up. And then notice that I'm not crunching. I'm still lengthening through the spine as I come up. Maria Leone told me crunching was a bad word in Pilates, and I didn't really understand that until I started practicing a little bit more. Okay, so here feet are heavy, sit bones are heavy, no clench through the glutes just yet. Your abs are pulling in, your glutes will get some love later. You're gonna hover your right foot off of the mat and then lower it back down. Left leg hovers and then lower. And as you hover, I like to exhale. That helps me to promote that lift and pull back. Like a seatbelt is just like pulling me in towards my seat. Yep. And then my chest is slightly coming forward. Not saying much about my driving skills, right? You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 more. Falling back, reaching your arms out, feeling that stretch. Inhaling here, exhaling, peeling up, reaching your hands towards your calves. Find your curl. It feels easier, right? Okay, now keep that height. Place the hands behind the head. Bring your right leg up into tabletop and then twist towards that knee. Come back to center and then twist and center. Really try not to lose any height in the head as you twist and then come back to center. That's the hardest part. You have 2, you have 1, hold, and the tiniest pulse is over the rib. 3, 2, 1, hold. Now reach the leg away from you and then pull it back in. Like you're pushing someone away, lifting higher, trying to keep that height as your knee comes back into tabletop. You have 3, 2, and then 1 more, push it away. Come back to center, bring your leg in, and then push it away, peel up higher. You have 4, 3, 2, 1 more, press it away, hold, little pulses over the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your highest pulse, bring your leg into tabletop, and then pulse into that knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes down. You're falling all the way back. Whew. Taking that stretch. I think I like teaching better than doing Pilates and teaching. Inhale here, and then exhale, go ahead and slowly peel up into your curl. All right, holding there, bringing the left leg up into tabletop this time, and then exhaling to twist to that side, coming back to center. So for me, my right hip is a lot tighter. It tries to hike up, so really think about anchoring that sit bone, the opposite sit bone down. You have 2, and then 1 twist, hold the twist, little pulses up for 5, 4, using your breath, 3, 2, 1, holding, reaching that left leg away, and then pulling it back in. For 4, keep expanding through those collarbones, 3, reaching your chest, 2, you're pushing someone away, growing tall, and then 1 more push, holds, turn back to center, and little pulses over the ribs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, keep that C-shaped curve, bring your leg into tabletop, and then pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, left leg comes down, head goes all the way back, and then just stretch it out. All right, Reach your hands back. You're in an I, kind of. Inhale here, exhale, peel into your crow. Arms reach forward. Neck is nice and long, shoulders are plugged down the back. You're scooping those abdominals in so you're really light on that ball. You're bringing your right leg up into tabletop, left leg up into tabletop. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and bring your hands on that right knee, reach the left leg away, pull the right knee towards your chest as you lift up higher, and then switch. Good. And then switch. And then switch. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs into tabletop. Grab a hold of your knees, come up a little bit higher, pull the shoulders away from the ears, place the hands behind the head. Reach the left, twist to the right, and twist. Good, and twist. And really reach your chest to the opposite side of the room. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Center, feet down, fall back, and you're done with the ab warm up. So use your abs, roll to the side, up to you. You're peeling off of that ball. Reaching the arms in front of you, holding onto that ball. Knees are hip distance apart, as are the feet. You're pulling those lower abs in, and then you're slowly peeling all the way down. Good. So keeping the ball in your hands, I like base of the palms here, not towards the fingertips. Your abs are warmed up, so go ahead and try to find your neutral spine. Your sit bones are heavy. The front of the ribs are pulling into the back of the ribs. Your navel's pulling deep down in towards your spine, but not enough to imprint the spine, unless that works for you because of the previous injury, or that's just really where you find your core. You're melting your rib cage down towards your belly button, and then you're lifting the pelvic floor up the ribs. Once the ball is in between your palms and your hands are reaching up towards the ceiling, no clenching the fingertips, you're just gonna go ahead and exhale and slightly squeeze that ball, more so with the pinkies and the thumbs. That should really turn the biceps in towards you, and then release. So the more you think about spinning the biceps slightly towards your nose, as you squeeze with those pinkies, the more you're gonna feel your armpits reach down towards your hips. Okay, those are your lats. You should start feeling them kick in. Maybe squeezing a little bit harder if you can get into the lats without popping the rib cage, because that tends to happen. So you just feel everything kind of like melt down like a mudslide. You have 4, 3, 2, and then 1 more. Holding the squeeze in the ball, now letting your arms slightly go back, and then bringing your arms forward. It doesn't seem like I'm doing much, but I'm already feeling my shoulders work. This is like an isometric internal rotation exercise. Okay. I'm not very mobile for my shoulders, so I can't really press all the way back. And I'm also still trying to control with my core. You have 3. Still keeping that twist of the biceps. 2. 1 more, reaching back, holding, finding my core, and then bending my elbows as I squeeze the ball harder, and then keep squeezing the ball as I push my hands back up. So I'm really trying to feel like I'm pushing with the pinkies. Okay. My hands, notice, are the ones that are pressing, not my entire arm. Okay. So you're getting some tricep there. Again, doesn't look like it's very hard. Might not be for you, but if you're really engaging, if you're really holding that constant pressure in the ball, if you're really trying to keep your abs engaged, you're gonna feel that fire start kicking in your triceps, in your core, in your lats. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Hold with your elbows bent. Squeeze the ball just a little harder so you can reach your shoulder girdle down your back. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, and then squeeze the ball harder, holding for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relaxing those arms. So it should have felt like a nice warm up for the arms. Now let's warm up the inner thighs. So the ball's gonna go in between the upper inner thighs. Here, I should have said this before, you didn't have a ball, just pressing into something to kind of give you that feeling of push would have helped. Now that we're placing the ball in between the thighs, maybe grabbing a pillow or not doing it, or just doing it without something, it's still gonna help. A pillow, a towel, whatever feels best for you. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and bring your feet about hip distance apart, making sure that they're same length. Arms are coming down by your sides. You're lengthening your fingertips towards your heels. Here again, tight from the shoulders, you're coming here. You can put something underneath your arms to kind of support you and keep that length through the arms, or turn your palms upward towards each other, whatever feels best for you. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep the tiniest hug into that ball. So nothing squeezing or clenching just yet, it's just a hug. Your hug is coming from your inner thighs, wrapping around your thighs. Okay. So your sit bones still feel like they're lengthening and out to the sides and forward. Okay. Your sacrum is still heavy, and that pressure into the ball or the inner thighs by wrapping is going to increase just a little bit more at this point. So you're really just feeling them start to warm up. Okay. Keeping that slight hug into the ball, you're going to exhale to find an imprint, and then inhale to go ahead and find your neutral. So this should still be very small. The pressure into the ball is not too much, okay? You shouldn't be shaking or feeling a complete burn. It's just a warm up here. Just finding a little bit more articulation through the lower back, okay? Again, glutes aren't squeezing to come in towards you. If your butt's not coming up, I shouldn't see it shake. I shouldn't see hamstrings pull in, okay? It's just abs pulling in, inner thigh working in conjunction with the abs, and then abs pushing that pubic bone away. Next time you're imprinting, you're holding. You're gonna find more hug into that ball. Knees are reaching forward and up towards the ceiling. And you're gonna slowly start to peel on up. So on your first peel up, I don't want you to push up as high as you can. Just peel up and see where you are. If you've been sitting all day, if you run a lot, your hip flexors are really tight. This already feels like a pull, that's fine. If you can come up higher, that's great too. So you're gonna press those triceps down, just hold to wherever you feel comfortable. Now notice what's happening in the body. If the neck started lifting, try to lengthen through the back of the neck. You'll be able to open up those collarbones, press the triceps further down. Now, this might happen. Ribs are flaring, butt's too low, or this might happen. Or this. We're really trying to find that fine diagonal in your bridge. So now check in. Can I see my hips? Yep. My ribs pulling down? Yep. Am my abs pulling in? Yep. Am I slightly hugging that ball? Yes. My knees are reaching towards the top of my toes, and then my heels are pressing down and pulling back in towards me. I'm going to try to keep those hamstrings active as I exhale into the ribs and then slowly start to articulate down. Okay. Really think about peeling up, reaching the knees forward, triceps press down, abdominals pull in, as do the inner thighs, holding at the top, and then slowly rolling back down. I have the tendency to roll onto one side of my back more than the other because I'm tighter in that side, and I just like compensate a lot. So be mindful of that. See where you're balanced, or see where you need more work, and then really work through that today. Okay, so a couple more here too. And then one more. Holding at the top. Seeing if you can press all four corners of the feet further into the mat. That should help lift. Okay, once you lift, see if you can tether that pubic bone in towards your belly button. Find more pull into that ball. Okay. And then maybe squeeze the ball a little bit more, so add 20% to that. And then slightly release. Pull in 20% and then slightly release. Exhaling as you squeeze and inhaling as you release. Seeing if you can keep the tension or the work being done from the inner thighs and the abs versus rising up into the shoulders. You have 3. Feet are steady. 2. They're actively pulling down. 1 more, squeeze, hold. Little pulses because you're pushing your feet further into the ground rather than just thrusting your hips, right? 4. That's deeper in that glute hamstring connection. 2. And then 1 more, hold, increasing the squeeze of the ball to 100%. So you can scoop in just a little bit deeper, keeping that squeeze in the ball as you slowly articulate down. Releasing everything, maybe removing that ball, moving your legs side to side, maybe walking them out too. Just wiggling whatever feels best for you. And then bending the legs back in. So warmed up the inner thighs. Now the ball's gonna go underneath the heels. Again, if you don't have a ball, perfectly fine. You can bring your feet onto a chair or just keep them down on the mat. We're just gonna try to get those glutes and hamstrings a little bit more. So I'm gonna start with my heels, my foot on the ball, like arch area. Heels kind of dropping off and away from it. Knees about hip distance apart. Abs pulling in. And then I'm gonna push my foot into the ball and then slowly start to lift up into my bridge. Okay. And then slowly peel back down. Lots of hamstring here. Slowly peeling up. And then slowly peeling down. Slowly peeling up. Holding. Bringing the knees together. Coming down together. Peeling up together. Pulling apart. And then slowly peeling down. So we'll continue in this pattern, peeling up, pulling in, lowering, reaching up, pulling apart, and lowering. Reaching back up, pulling in and holding, pulsing, pushing those sit bones up towards the ceiling. So pulling in with those abdominals. You have 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and then slowly peel all the way down. Oof, reach those legs away. Hamstrings should have felt that. Bring that ball in towards you again. Place it on the side. Okay. Bring your right leg over your left leg. Let your legs fall towards the left as you look towards your right hand. Bracing your core, pulling to center. Then doing it in the opposite direction. I don't have enough room actually, so you're just gonna stretch in the other direction. All right, and then once you've done those, you're gonna hug both legs in towards your chest to release that lower back. Circle yourself. So you're stirring yourself like stew. And then you're stirring yourself like stew in the other direction. And maybe lengthening your left leg away, hugging the back of the right leg, pulling that leg up towards the ceiling, and then bending and then kicking. Just trying to keep length in the spine, just actively stretching that hamstring. I like to think about this as flossing or kind of loosening something up. So with every reach, you should be able to get a little more pull. And then 1 more reaching up. Holding at the top, maybe flexing your ankle. Sorry, you can't see, but maybe flexing your ankle this time to get a little more calf. Maybe climbing up your leg to get a little more pull. Okay. Bending the leg back to tabletop. And then going to the other side. So holding the back of the knee, anchoring with the opposite leg. You're bending and you're extending. Bending and extending. Not being too rough on yourself at first, so just being gentle. And really letting it be an active stretch, so it feels nice. A few more here. Shoulders shouldn't be rising up. Maybe lower your hands if you feel tight there. 2, and then 1 more. Lifting, holding, flexing that ankle. Again, maybe walking up if that felt good on the other side. Reach a little higher. Okay, and then just coming down. Good. I'm gonna wiggle to the front of my mat a little bit more. Or the back. Okay. Reaching my arms up towards the ceiling. You don't have to hold the ball if you don't want to. Inhaling here, flexing your ankles towards you. Exhaling, slowly finding articulation as you roll all the way up. Okay, finding that scoop through the lower abs as you slowly begin to peel all the way back down. So, coming up is a lot harder for most people. If that's too difficult on your body, it's frustrating, you don't feel successful, you don't have to do it, but I do want you to try peeling down as much as you can. Okay, so alternatives, if the peeling down feels good for you or it feels challenging enough and you feel like you have good form, is going to be to coming onto your side to come up. Maybe alternate sides as you do that. Practice coming down or bending your legs, hugging the back of the legs, seeing if you can keep your shoulders down. Coming to that point, usually it's about here where people just topple, and then just seeing if you can glide your fingertips down your thighs, keeping that C-shaped curve as you come down. Okay? And then rolling to the side and coming back up. So wherever feels best for you. Everyone else should have kept rolling up and down. So once you're in the seated position on this next one, knees bent, wherever you find yourself, you're coming down to a halfway mark. So you're really finding that C-shaped curve in the lower back. Okay, once you're there, you're gonna slowly twist over to the left. So not twisting to the wall, but just kind of like dipping down and twisting, finding center, and then dipping in the opposite direction. And then finding center, coming all the way back up. Okay, coming down to that C-shaped curve, dropping the shoulders, a little dip to the left, a little dip to the right, finding center, and then coming all the way back up. And again, coming down, dipping, center, dipping, center, all the way up. Bending the legs, everyone here, scooping down. Okay, bringing your right leg up into tabletop, bringing that ball in between the legs, find center as you lower that leg down. Okay, bring your left leg up into tabletop, bring that ball underneath the leg, back to center. So just switching sides here. Okay, seeing if you can keep the abdominals engaged the entire time. It should be fun, it should be challenging. I'm not the most coordinated person either, so this feels like, what the heck are we doing? Don't worry, it's a challenge for me too. And then see if you can go a little bit faster, just to make it fun. Okay, you have 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing the ball on the side if you have it, coming onto your sit bones, reaching your right leg up into tabletop, left leg up into tabletop, legs away from you, you're holding your teaser, beaming your chest forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then slowly letting everything come down. All right, you're coming onto your side. So here, ball can act as your pillow, act as that bottom oblique lifter, or if you don't have a ball, totally fine, you can get rid of it. If your ball is underneath you and you're placing your hands here or here, whatever feels more comfortable, I would recommend maybe starting with your head on your forearm, seeing how that feels, and then moving on to the next thing. So I'm not going to use my ball. I'm just going to place it back there. I'm going to lengthen through the top side of my body, heels together, knees together, slightly below my hips. I can bring them in a little bit more. Okay, and then once I'm there, I'm just going to start with a very simple fire hydrant, just lifting the entire top leg up and then lowering down. Just seeing if I can keep length through my torso as I lift up and down with my leg. Okay, because it shouldn't feel like I'm opening here or rolling forward every time I come up. You have 2, and then 1 more. Okay, just seeing if you can connect with the back of the body. Okay, if you did, reach your legs forward at about like a 45-degree angle, so closer towards the front edge of your mat. Then you're gonna go ahead and, let me move up a little bit more. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and find the length through the abs again. Okay, glide the top leg up to hip height and then back so it's in line with your spine. Once you're there, you're reaching the leg away from you. Okay, pulling the top of the hip away from the top rib. Stabilizing through the abs, top shoulder is relaxed. And then you're gonna flex your ankle and then point your ankle. So flexing and then pointing. Okay, just finding that hold in the leg as you move through the ankle. 3, 2, one more, pushing away, holding. And now start forming the tiniest circle through the hip joint. So first we were moving through the ankle, now we're moving through the hip. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, holding, lengthening again, so that bottom oblique is lifted, and then reversing those tiny circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding, lengthening again, reaching the leg up towards the ceiling and then slowly bringing it down. You can stay flexed or pointed here, wherever you're getting that glute. I actually like flexed because I can really think about my heel gliding up towards the ceiling and me pushing the wall behind me away. That helps me get into the glute, but whatever feels best for you or helps you activate more. You do want to keep lengthening through the leg as you lift. You have 3, 2, and then one more holding. Okay, and then pointing those toes again. You're going to start big circles, so forward, back, and around. Still trying to keep that hip stability. Abs are still helping. Hips are squared. No, my hips are squared. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding at hip height, lengthening again, and then reversing that circle. Emphasis on pushing back and up. Okay. So if you can reach up higher, you're not tight, feel free to do that as long as you're not dumping or bending that leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that leg down, shaking it off if you need to. Okay, and then coming on up, switching to the other side. Okay, move my mat completely. So I'm gonna come onto my side again. Head's propped down, legs are bent, abs are pulling in. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and then just go for my simple fire hydrants here. So my fire hydrants are just to see if I can find some activation in the back of the leg, seeing if I can keep my hips stacked. Okay, 3, 2, 1, lifting, bringing it down, bringing the leg to the front edge of the mat, so like a 45-degree angle. Head's heavy into your hands, shoulders relaxed. Then hovering that leg up to hip height and then sliding it back so it's in line with your spine. Seeing if you can find openness through the hips so they stay squared. Lower abs are pulling in. You're lengthening that top hip away from you. Okay, and then here just flexing the ankle and then pointing the ankle just to get that ankle mobility going. Okay, good. So really finding the back of the leg first. Still lengthening. 3, 2, pointing away, holding the point. And now starting those tiny circles. Like you have a little weight on your foot and you're just gently pushing it up and then slowly resisting it down. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding, and then reversing those tiny circles. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Lengthening that leg. 1 more, hold. Are you still reaching with that hip? Is that bottom oblique lifted? Is the top shoulder relaxed? I hope so. Okay, so as long as you can get your leg here, okay, you're gonna pause. And then we're gonna start your big circles. You're gonna press back, up, and around. Seeing if you can keep the openness through the hips as you rotate at the hip joint. Really think about pushing back. 4, 3, 2, 1, holding, and then reversing in the other direction. Finding length through the body. Really reaching that leg away. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 more. Holding, flexing the ankle if you did on the other side, reaching your heel away or foot, and you're lifting up and down. Again, just to activate the back of the leg and keep the length through the spine, keeping the lumbopelvic stability. You have 5 more. 4, 3, should be right here, 2, and then 1 more. Reach it, hold, lengthen, and then lower down. Hopefully that got your butt. It got mine. You're gonna come onto your knees, open your knees hip distance apart, and then just fall back into your child's pose. So dropping your head, dropping your sit bones back, lengthening your fingertips forward, walking your hands over towards the left, reaching your right arm as long as your left, so you're really opening up that right side of the body, breathing into those right ribs if you can, and sending all of your weight down to the mat on your exhale. Inhaling to expand the rib, and then exhaling to drop your weight down. So ideally your sit bones are going back towards your heels. I can't do that because I have an ankle injury, but try to get proper form with that child's pose. And then walking your legs over, your arms towards the left, the right. Reaching at the same length. And again, inhaling on that left side to expand, and then exhaling to drop your chest heavy. It should feel nice, should feel relaxing. Okay. Just doing it 2 more times. One more. And then walking back in towards center, just dropping down. Shaking it off if you need to. Coming onto your knees. Giving your wrists a little stretch. Maybe rotating them around a little bit. Okay. And then bringing your hands on the mat. Lengthening the sit bones away, pulling those abdominals in. Finding length through the sternum here as much as the sit bones. Okay, so no coming up here. You're getting light on those hands, lifting your body weight up, pulling the abs in without tucking, right? So we're not changing the curvature of the spine just yet, opening up through the collarbones. And then on your exhale, you're gonna pull those lower abs in, bringing the tailbone in between the legs as you drop your head to look down up towards your belly button. Seeing if your weight didn't completely shift back. So you want to keep it in center. And then seeing if you can feel the sensation that the fingertips are expanding and pulling back towards your knees. As you lengthen your chest forward, continue to spin the biceps forward and lift your ribs away from your hands rather than come here. And then exhale, begin to round back into your cat. Inhaling to lengthen your chest forward. Your sternum is beaming and rolling up the wall. And then exhale to slowly pull the navel in, dropping the head. And then we'll go for 2 more. Last one here. Exhaling into your cat. Inhaling into your cow. Finding neutral spine, right? So your gaze is right above your fingertips or towards the front edge of your mat. Chin isn't reaching too far up. Softening through the elbows, pulling those abs in, tucking your toes underneath if they aren't already, and then pulling those lower abdominals in so tight that your knees slightly hover off of the mat, okay? And then slowly lower them down. So just seeing how it feels to exhale and lift through those lower abs to hover the knees, rather than locking the elbows and rounding through the upper back, and then coming down. So it's almost like combining your cat and cow here, okay? So the upper body is gonna be doing what you were doing with your cow. Your biceps are spinning forward, your fingertips are pressing up, your chest is beaming, your collarbones are wide, but your lower abs are scooping as if they were about to go into your cat. Very different than rounding through the thoracic spine. You have 2. And then 1 more. Coming down to your knees, bringing your feet together, reaching your hands forward, and again, relaxing in child's pose to relax that neck. Finding all 4s again. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes curled towards you, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna come forward on my mat a little bit more. You're gonna find that little hover again. So beam that chest forward, spin the biceps forward, press your fingertips down, scoop those abs, hold, reach your right leg back, and then your left leg back. Find yourself in a plank. Legs wider is more stability. Legs closer together is a little more challenging, so you pick where you want to be. Too much on your wrists, come onto your forearms. Okay. Too much on your neck. Feel free to prop yourself up on something. Way too much on your lower back, shoulder injuries, go against the wall and find a wall plank. You can always plank somehow. Planks are good for you. Everyone else you're holding while I'm talking. Just finding length and strength through the body. We're gonna hold for a few more seconds. Seeing if we can pull the rib cage in closer towards each other. And then slowly bringing the knees down, sending the hips back. Coming back onto the knees, reaching the fingertips away from each other. Hovering, sending one leg back, then the other. Okay, so from here, you're gonna go ahead and pull that right knee up towards the right elbow. Bring that leg back. Left knee up towards that left elbow, and then back. And continue to aim above the elbow. So maybe mid-tricep as you alternate, seeing if you can keep your hips completely stable as you go back and forth. Exhaling as you bring that leg in. Inhaling to lengthen as you press back. You have 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Holding, coming down to the knees, and then back into your child's pose. Okay. And now you're gonna find your forearms. So we're coming onto our forearms. Hands can be down towards the mat. Hands can be in towards each other. That's what I prefer, just because my shoulders are so rounded. I prefer you not bring the hands together and clench. I feel like that gets into the shoulders. So picking that one or this one, whatever feels best for you. Okay, elbows are gonna be right underneath the shoulders, and you're gonna go ahead and find your plank here. Okay, once you found that plank, you're feeling lifted, you're feeling good, you're not squeezing through your butt, you're pulling up through the abs to keep that tuck of the tailbone. Okay, you're just gonna go ahead and reach your right hip slightly down towards the ground, back to center, and then left hip down, and then up. So I don't wanna see anybody twist side to side. It's really just a turn of the hip. It's like really discreet. So when you come to center, you're keeping your hips at the same height rather than lifting the hips high, right? So you don't want to end up here, dipping and then lifting. It's really about keeping the hips stable and set. Okay, feet shouldn't really be swaying. You have 4, 3, 2, and then 1 more. Finding center, reaching the heels back, reaching the forearms down and back. Good, and then slowly coming onto your tummy, reaching your hands forward, dropping the face down onto the floor, seeing how much length you can keep from your body here. And now find your abs slightly pulling off away from the mat. Okay, as soon as you do that, you will feel your hips fall heavier, right? So I like lifting the abs or kind of just pulling them up before I think about pushing the pubic bone down, because pushing makes me force, lifting makes me get light, and then I can think about the force and just try it out to see how that feels. So once your pubic bone is into the mat and your abs are pulling up, you're gonna keep your left hand down on the floor, right foot down on the floor, and you're just gonna find what it feels like to lift with the right arm, left leg. So you can still feel like you're pulling yourself back with that left arm and then coming down. And now switching sides, lengthening and coming down. So just lengthening. It will feel different on both arms. Being careful to reach forward and still keeping the abs in rather than cocking the head back and dumping into the lower back. When we think of extension, we think really pretty back bend, and it's really about where your body's feeling the length, but still the work, that's important. Like always, I lost count, so we'll go for 1 more on each side. And then now maybe just lifting the arms up. So abs in, pubic bone down, inhale, arms up, and then arms down. Up, tops of the feet press down, and then down. You have 2. Notice here, I go palms down first, and then go palms in. If you can see that, that's because of my shoulders again. And then 1 more, and down. So now hands can stay outreached in front of you, or you can bring your hands together so your forehead goes on top of your hands. And now you're just gonna try the legs. You're gonna pull the abs in, lengthen through the legs, and then lower them down. Just finding some hamstring, posterior chain here. Glutes are working. What I don't wanna see is this. It's just gentle for now. 4, making sure you're not externally rotating the feet. 2, 1 more, lengthening, holding. So you can come up a little bit higher, and now clipping the heels in and out. So you're getting some inner thigh there. You're still lengthening through the tops of the feet. 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering the feet down, reaching your arms forward, and now seeing if you can lift both extremities up, so hands and legs. Lifting up, and then starting your swim. Seeing if you can keep the rest of the body stable. Okay, so some people like coming here, no, no, no. Make sure it's opposite and opposite. You're still finding length, you're lengthening. 3, 2, 1, holding, reaching your arms out and back. Feet come down, hands are interlaced behind you. Okay, I'm looking at the camera, but your head is also to the side. And then once you lift the arms back to reach the hands towards the heels, you're looking straight forward, right? So you're opening up your chest forward and then lowering down, letting your head fall onto the opposite side. Inhaling, tops of the feet are still heavy. You're just opening up the chest and then coming to the other side. Now seeing if you can find that with the legs lifting. Lifting center. Abdominals are pulling in, they're not pushing down, so find that lift. And then down to the other side. And then lengthening here. Down to the side. And then bringing your arms underneath you, tucking your toes, finding your plank again. Exhale to push all the way up. Okay. Spin the biceps forward, bring your elbows in towards you, slowly lower down. Exhale, push up, and then slowly lower down. Too much for you, come onto your knees, do your push-ups there. Again, you can always come against a wall, up to you. You're gonna go for 2 more push-ups. One more. Holding here. And then start to walk your hips back. Let your hands reach down towards your toes. Drop your head really heavy. You probably can't see me anymore. See if you can just feel like someone's pulling the crown of the head down towards your toes. Still seeing where your sit bones are, your knees are. You're not cocking in. You're still wrapping, you're still lengthening. And then scooping those lower abs in and slowly peel them. Reaching the arms up, abs pull in. All the dogs came in now, slowly scooping down to reach for your toes. Dangling there, just relaxing, moving your head side to side. Scooping those lower abs in, pressing your feet down, slowly rolling on up. Okay. And that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with new moves shortly. All right, take care, bye, guys. Bye.